Hello, so today we'll be doing grade 6s and we'll be doing natural science. Our lesson topic focus will be the importance of wetlands and water purification. The length of our lesson will be about 30 minutes more or less. The number of learners are 20 and the CAPS pages consulted is page 43. Prior knowledge to what the learners already know is the learners went on a field trip to experience a wetland in the area they stay the week before this lesson. The learners and the day before the learners read a case study about the importance of wetlands. The learning objectives I have for the students are the students should be able to express their opinion on the importance of wetlands, compile ideas on how to protect wetlands, create advantages of wetlands for the environment and our society, and be able to produce disadvantages of destroying wetlands in their direct environment and on a global scale after being exposed to environmental problems on their local field trip. The skills that the learner should have by the end is the learner should be able to work in a team because they'll be grouped together, communicate effectively in large groups and as a class a whole class about wetlands and how and why to keep them clean because the students will be discussing heavily said effectively solve problems by being exposed to environmental problems because they went on the local field trip. They were able to experience and see the environment, so they should be able to solve the problem, to come up with solutions for the problems. Yes. And the change in attitude of value the learners should have by the end is the learners should be able to should be feel the need to live sustainably and avoid damaging their wetland, avoiding polluting by not littering in their wetland in their community and by other and in other people's communities, protecting the environment around them and informing people about the importance of wetlands. The method of the assess how it will be assessed. The learners assess themselves and their peers by being put in group and asked to discuss the topic because this is a heavily discussion. This topic is about coming up with solutions, discussing, talking about environmental factors. So it's very heavy group work and discussed. Mm, the teacher will monitor the class. I will monitor the class. The group setting will help the children assess their peers and their own progress. In their groups, they will create a poster about wetlands and water purification. The teacher will have an example of I will have an example of a poster to show them at the end. For our introduction, the topic will be introduced to the learners by me. The learners will have prior knowledge of wetlands because they went on a field trip the week before to investigate the wetland in their area. The reason why they pass this wetland every day because it's close to school, but this time they had the opportunity to really look at the environment, check the water. Is there any fish, any frogs? Is there litter? We discussed why is it in good form, is it not? I created a poster about ways to clean water. We read a case study about a wetland in Cape Town and we compared to the wetland in Cape Town, how a wetland is actually supposed to be, and how our wetland is, and how the people in Cape Town managed to clean theirs. I gave the learners questions about wetlands and how to take care of them. We discussed this as a group to include everyone and create an environment where everyone learns from each other and participates. Participation is very important because everyone needs to discuss. For our lesson development, I put the learners in bigger groups because I feel like this works better and helps all the learners work together as a team rather than just in pairs. They have the opportunity to discuss as a whole, where ideas come and flow and people give their opinions and their solutions and problems and then what they noticed. This is just better. The learners' ideas flow better when they work together and everyone gets the opportunity to participate in a topic. This way, they learn more. I will continuously ask different questions, and the learners are free to ask questions because I created a safe environment that is not teacher centered, that allows every learner to feel valued. And because it's about 20 students, we are able to communicate with each other. The lesson will be closed by giving the learners an activity where they must tabulate the different ways to clean water and state the advantage and disadvantage. This is where Google comes. Because we will be using our blended form of blended learning that we will be using is face-to-face driver mode, where there is a traditional classroom setup, which we did have, where we discussed and we went on the field trip. but the students also get an opportunity to go do research, to check what they agree with, what they don't agree with, to compile research, come to the group, discuss it. I think and this helps them be independent. When you give a student, you give them what to do and give them guidelines, you guide them through the way, but they do it themselves. This way they learn, they remember better, they do way better academically, because it's their own independent work. You're not just feeding them. They're not just have getting information and then accepting it and everything. They get the opportunity to learn and teach others and absorb their own and be more confident and strong with their points. um, and a memo will be given to them at the end to check if they're more or less. The question I will ask is, what is a wetland and why is it important? The answer I'm looking for is, a wetland is an ecosystem with it has various habitats. And why is it important? It's important because animals need it for water, for homes. We as humans need it. It helps with climate change. Everyone has their own various opportunities, more or less that. And the next question is, compare the wetland in your area and the wetland in Cape Town in the textbook. So we had a case study of a wetland that was dirty, but now they cleaned it in Cape Town. And the examples was, the water was blue, there was fish again, there was various animals. People could have family gatherings, people could play, there was trees. So now we compare ours. Our wetland did not have much trees. The water was dirty, there wasn't no fish, barely any fish at all. It was full of litter, various litter. So to compare the two, and I want the students to see what is right and what is not right. They get opportunity to analyze, is everything right in my environment? Do I just accept what is in my environment? Can I change what is in my environment? These questions really help the students think beyond the classroom and think, am I strong? Give them a sense of strength that I can do it, I can think, I can help. Okay, plan the best way to clean water. Again, this is more research. They get the opportunity to be independent and get their own way of cleaning water. Choose the best method to save our wetlands. Substantiate your answer. Again, this is more independent, and then group will come and discuss and tell us. We all will say what is the best method. I think we should have pick up Fridays, because this will help everyone at Fridays. They come home early from school. Or I think we should put more dustbins next to the wetlands. Or I think we should ask the government for funding for a filtration system of something. The students get the opportunity to really expand their knowledge and get creative and critically think of a practical everyday environment, how to save. And this assessment, this task is nice because the students get the opportunity to discuss, give their ideas, and it's their home, it's their environment. So they learn more because it is practical. We manage to put schoolwork and everyday life together, so they will be better equipped for life after high school, our life after school. The enrichment activity I have, because this is more of a discussion and research activity. Um, Enrichment, I will give them a short set of questions to finish about ways to clean water, which is an introduction to the next other ways, various ways to clean water, or water filtration system, which is our assessment task. The way in groups they have to build a water filtration system. And this helps them because, okay, now we already discussed our wetland is not in a good condition. How do we help it? How do we save it? What are practical ways to clean our wetlands, to keep it clean? There was signs on the wetland that said, please keep your wetland and your environment clean. So I would ask the students, what would you suggest? These are the type of questions I would ask them when they're done, we have more time. Accommodations made for learners needing special attention, because everything will be repeated for them, and extra time will be given for learners who I picked up that struggled in the group. I will ask the learners that struggle to understand, remember our field trip, what did you notice? Then let's go back to the Cape Town wetland, what do you notice here? Pick up the difference, what is good, what is bad, what would you like, what would you not like your environment to look like, what would you do, what would you not do, what should we do? Should we litter? Should we not litter? Should we protect our environment so that they can understand the importance of their environment. Homework. The homework is more of a post activity after everything, where I ask the students to write an essay of about 80 to 100 words of the following topic. You are stranded in the Namib Desert with undrinkable water due to pollution and dust. Choose the best way to clean this water and why you chose this method. So the students, again, it's heavily research, but at the same time I'm constantly guiding the students with questions, what they should research, putting them in safe groups, safe environment where they feel confident and safe, because it is the teacher's responsibility. Even though you give them heavily researched topics, to the research should be friendly, it should be clear, so the students basically get the opportunity to think critically and creatively. They are in a desert, in a mud desert. They should imagine a desert with undrinkable water due to pollution, which is humanly caused. They should know that, and dust due to natural occurrence from the desert. So how would you need water? It's a desert. You really need to think how do you survive? You don't have much water. It's arid environment, there's pollution, and natural occurrence makes the water undrinkable. Choose the best way to clean this water and why you chose this method. So what filter system would you use? I have an example of what I made a filter system where I told them I would, because I just give my example, later they need to go and choose their own. I would create a water filter system where I would take a Coke bottle or water bottle. I will add cotton, charcoal, fine sand, pebbles and sand, soil, rock, and then the Coke bottle. Put this all. Then I would pour the water in, and it will filter through the pebbles, through the soil, and all the dust, with the method I researched, all the dust will come out, all the pollutants, and then what remains is the clean water. This is how I would survive in a environment where there's pollution and due to natural occurrence the water is undrinkable. This, by giving them a practical example and me participating, the students also feel more confident about the lesson, and they feel, okay, I can do this. Teacher gave me an example, she also did it, I more or less know what to do. And then at the end they need to do a poster about, in groups, about the water filtration system. In conclusion, this this lesson worked from a field trip where they walk through every day, but it's not just normal. They got the opportunity to discuss what they see. Is it right? Is it wrong? Really think, because sometimes if they just walk in the environment, they don't think, is the environment that they already live in, is it right? Can they fix it? They are capable of fixing it, within their power to fix these environments. So we really discussed, and then we went back to school, read a case study about a similar wetland in Cape Town that was really damaged, and how the people of that area fixed it and got it clean, and had family functions and sports days, and there was fish again and animals and trees. They planted trees, and it helped with flooding. They really The wetland helps with flooding, and the area that they're staying, there's a problem that the children staying, there's a problem of flooding due to the wetland being very damaged over years that has went by. So this is a very practical lesson, and the students really do get the opportunity to learn independently, to research, to think for themselves. They learn critical and creative thinking, which helps them, which is life skills they will need in life to succeed. So this lesson really helps and equips them for life after school. Thank you.